This is Andy Crawford with Mississippi Sportsman. I'm here with Jimmy Riley with Giles Island, who on October 1st stuck a pretty nice little deer. He manages the property. And Jimmy, how many bucks have you killed on this property? Not counting this one.
One.
And you've worked here how long?
15 years. 15
years. Jimmy doesn't hunt very much here, at least, and so he got the permission while Mossy Oak was here shooting a TV show to go out and not just shoot a deer, but shoot one of the trophies on the property. Jimmy, how much does this thing score out?
We green grossed him at 180 and 6/8.
180 and 6/8, and how many scoreable points? 15, right?
15 scoreable. You know, there's a couple of other Mississippi legal points hanging on there. I got to call him 17 points.
And the thing that really struck me was, I mean, it's a fine deer, great mass, points everywhere. How wide is this thing?
That's what's so impressive about him. He's 24¼ inches wide.
24¼ He is a fine animal. How long have y'all been watching him?
Well, we saw him last year for the first time.
Okay.
And he came out on 2 different bow hunters, and we captured a little video on the second one. Just didn't get in range. He was one of those nocturnal deer that didn't show up. And this was during the rut when they saw him. And you know, we're looking forward to seeing him this year, along with a whole bunch of other bucks. I mean, this isn't the only big buck on Giles Island. We got a bunch of more we're waiting to see this year. And well, this was one that was, he lived in a little pocket back there, way off the main road. I mean, you can't get to him from the main road. You got to get on an auxiliary road and go for a long ways. And he stayed back in there, and he just moved at nighttime. And I couldn't wait to get that road cleared out with a bulldozer so I could get back in there and set a trail cam up on a persimmon tree. Persimmon tree was loaded. I mean, it was just a hog waller up under it, and put the trail cam up the Saturday before the season opened, and checked it Sunday. There he was. We knew it was the same deer. You could tell by the characteristics of the rack and the sticker points where they were and everything, except he was a little bigger.
That's what I was going to ask. Y'all thought y'all had him tagged about 160 or so last year? Last
year, pushing 160. This year, I was guessing he was maybe in the mid 160s. You know, trail cams, you know, it's hard myself anyway. I hate to, I would rather underscore one than overscore, because sometimes they're facing into the camera, they look bigger than they actually are and all that kind of thing. So it's hard to age and score deer to me on a still picture from a trail cam. So conservative, I had him 165, you know, but I missed him. I was wrong.
Well, you missed him on the good side.
Yeah.
So you saw him, you know, a week before. Sort of, I guess, you know, tell the users how you came about, how this hunt came about, because again, you don't normally hunt.
No, I got to hunt a little bit on Giles Island last year for the Deer Thug show. I didn't kill one. I missed one, hit a hackberry limb, and it was just a management 8 point. So, you know, we didn't book any hunters first part of October because we weren't sure our lodging facilities were going to be up to standard.
Because this whole place went under.
Where we are sitting right now was probably 15 foot over our head in water. And so we had to remodel all of our buildings, and we needed the first half of October to finish up. And but we saw it as a great opportunity to make some TV. This hunt had 2 purposes. One, make TV for the Mossy Oak Deer Thug show. And number 2 is to set the record straight on this misconception out there about the river flooding and not having deer on these islands. Now, I can't speak for every island up down the river, but I've been here 15 years. I've seen a lot of big floods, and I've seen the deer come back after every one of them. And there's a lot of people don't book hunts with us because they think we don't have deer after these floods. So we set out. Mr. Bancroft said, y'all go kill a couple good deer. We want to show people what we got even after these big floods. It doesn't hinder the hunting at all. So there you go. I was happy to oblige.
I bet you were. Now, again, this deer was nocturnal. You know, by and large, y'all saw him during the rut.
Last year.
He comes out what time?
Man, you know, the best way to get a nocturnal deer is 2 times to get him. And some deer are just born nocturnal. I mean, that's just the nature of them. And all of them have different personalities. The best way to get a nocturnal deer is that opening weekend before anybody's thrashed the woods, or during the rut. You know, you can kill any deer during the rut if he makes a mistake and follows a doe out there. But this was a great opportunity. I got lucky. I mean, you know, I caught the deer on trail cam that one night, pulled the trail cam. I said, there's no need in leaving it out here anymore. I don't want any more stink out here, the human stink.
And you left that area
Monday.
for a week,
Monday.
Right? Okay.
Monday we hung the lock on and we stayed out of there.
Right.
And we did not go to this spot Saturday morning intentionally because the major movement was from 3 to 6 in the morning. The last trail cam pick I had was 5 in the morning the week before. I said, I'm not going in there to bump this deer. No, I got 5 days of hunting.
Right.
There's no sense in me pushing the issue. So I waited till mid-afternoon, you know, 3:30 we got in there, and under the cover of the noise, you know, because this time of year, early season, the deer you're going to kill is normally bedded up between 200 and 300 yards from where you setting up.
Okay.
They're not moving far. They don't have to. There's food everywhere. They're not going to get up and rip and run halfway across the island. It doesn't work that way early season. So we got in there under the cover of the noise, the wind noise and everything, set up. Sat there for hours and nothing. I mean, nothing.
Which was interesting because Bobby Vargas with PSE was seeing deer.
I was getting text messages from him and Benji Stowers, Will Cowan, a couple of guides over here.
Right.
They were seeing deer, and I'm like, we're not seeing anything. But I'm okay. You know, look, I can sit in the stand all day long. Right. It doesn't make me any difference. I just love to sit in the woods. And so I'm just, I got 5 days. I can sit right here for 5 days. But I'm guessing about 6, I don't know, a little after 6:15, here comes that ghost doe. And the only doe on Giles Island you can't shoot. She's the most beautiful thing you ever seen. She's colored up like a blue heeler, you know. She comes into the persimmon tree and she mills around and she gobbles up all the persimmons, and she picks her head up, looks back across the slough, and he's ran, and all I saw was a rat going. He was just shaking his head. I couldn't tell what it was. He comes on out in the slough, and this slough is about 50 yards wide in water. Right. And there's a lot of mud out there, and it's wide open. And I could just see him moving behind that persimmon tree through the limbs and all. I still couldn't tell what it was. And he got about probably 60, 70 yards. He got in the open. I knew it was him then.
Well, there was another buck with it, though, wasn't there?
And when he came out, and you're not going to see this on the show next year because the camera, John Tatum is the cameraman from Mossy Oak, and he didn't get that other one. He saw this one. I saw the other one.
Right. How big was the other one?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't see him good enough. It was behind the limbs and stuff, but this one ran the other one off, and he busted out across to the right. So I'm watching him, but John's watching this one. And I'm saying, there he is. He's over here to the right. He said, no, he's to the left of the persimmon. I look at the camera, and he's pointing over here, and oh, there he is. It's kind of fun hunting with 2 people in a tree, you know, for that reason. But man, he come out of there, and I said, when he first put that head down and picked it up and give me all that, I said, oh, I misjudged him. He's better than 165.
So you knew at that point that he was better than, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing like seeing one live to be able to judge him, and him moving around and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. And he came to the persimmon tree, ran her off, you know, she went on back out in the slough, and she actually worked to our advantage because she had eaten up almost all the persimmons. He found 2, and he stayed right there about 8 or 10 minutes and just going in circles and figure eights and putting that nose down, trying to swatting mosquitoes off with his horns off his back and everything. And he was trying to find some more persimmons, but she had eaten them all up. Right. And I was take it 30, 35 yards, and I'm like, you know what? There's no sense in that. You know, because this is a deer of a lifetime for somebody. Right. If I don't get a shot at him, at a close 20, 25 yard shot, that's okay. Somebody else will kill him this year, maybe. And but I don't want to risk anything. I mean, 30, 35 is not a long shot. Right. But when I had the opportunity, the best trail came, left that persimmon tree 20 yards in front of me, and I knew there was a good chance he could get on that trail and walk right there. He ran out of persimmons, and he did. He came right there, and I got, you know, we were real high. We were about 35. The cameraman's, John's 35. I'm probably about, 33. And I got drawn. As soon as I settled the pin down on him, he stopped. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I couldn't believe it. I mean, everybody wants that 20-yard pin, baby, and I had it. I mean, you're real comfortable with a 20-yard pin. And it plowed through him, and he turned, and the blood was just spewing out the side, and he hit that edge of that slough and just was. It's going to be an awesome video. It's going to be an awesome show.
And he got all that on video.
Yeah, he caught him, and actually he ran behind the persimmon tree, and you see a big wad of persimmons when he runs behind it. and he comes out of the mud, and he falls right there in the green stuff.
Okay, now, you told me when I wrote the story something that you think is really important, and you stressed it. When did you get ready for the shot?
I got ready. Now look, I've seen a lot of mistakes over here by a lot of different hunters, and I learned from them.
Right.
Even though I don't get to hunt, you know, when you get deer coming to you, and you're bow hunting, it's best to go on and get up and get ready and get that bow. You don't have to put your release on yet, but you need at least, and I chock my bottom limb, my cam, under my belt of my safety harness right there. Right. To take the pressure off that left arm, because you may have to stand there an hour, hour and a half. And I did it last year when I got to hunt with the Deer Thug show, and it hurts, but it's going to pay off, because if you wait, if you've got deer in range 20, 25 yards, 30 yards, and then all of a sudden the shooter starts coming and you try to stand up on those deer, you're going to get busted a lot of times. Right. So it's better if you're up, locked and loaded and ready, and that's what happened. I was, the ghost doe comes in, I get up, I get ready, and when he comes out, I don't have anything to do but wait for him to get close enough. So you didn't wait on the buck to come out when you saw the doe coming? You oh, I was there. And when I saw the buck, all I had to do was hook up the release. Right. Great. Yeah. Well, now, you mentioned earlier that a lot of people think that the Delta, all the deer got run out, which they probably did. This was a big one. Is a deer that was here last year. He came right back when they... Oh, absolutely. I mean, people... you hear all kind of stuff, rumors about things. Every time a big deer gets killed by somebody, you get all kind of negative rumors, but I don't worry about that kind of stuff. Look, this was the big flood. This was the one we've been dreading our whole lives down here. Right. And everywhere, all the way up and down the river. But guess what? The deer don't have a computer. They don't get the internet. They don't know we had a record flood. Right. All they know is they ran out of land again. They went across that levee, went back in some woods and some fields, and as soon as the water goes down, they come right back. Right. I mean, they did it 3 years ago, they did it 2 years ago. I mean, they're wired that way. This is a way of life for this deer herd over here. Yeah. And we might lose a handful to the highway, but out of 1,000 head of deer, the few deer that we lose to the highway, and most of those are yearlings and does and stuff, it's not devastating. The flood does not hurt our deer herd. Matter of fact, the deer have left the island 3 of the past 4 years due to the flood. We just had our 2 best seasons ever, last year and the year before, and we got a great start to this one already this year. You do that. Well, Jimmy, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations on a fine deer, and we look forward to hearing how the season goes. Guys, I just invite you to come on the website, keep up with what's going on, post your own pictures in the Big Deer photo contest. We've got a deer video contest as well. Check the site for that, and we'll see you there.